We're going to do an activity called irony hands, and the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put our name, date, and period. Next thing we're going to do is we need to put our hands down in the corners, and we're going to actually literally like sketch one hand, and then we're going to sketch our other hand. But the way we're going to do that is we're going to kind of match up our fingers. And yes, I do have a cut on my finger, which is why I have a bandage. And we're going to do an outline of that one as well. It doesn't have to be pretty because we're using a visual to help us learn something. So we're going to do a thing called irony hands. We've got two hands. And irony, by definition, is a discrepancy or difference between two things. And more specifically, the two things that we're worried about are what is said versus what is meant, what we expect to happen versus what actually happens, and last but not least, when we get into the third type, is what we know versus what characters know. Now we're going to label these three things. This one is called verbal irony, when we say the opposite of what we mean. The second is called situational irony. And the third is called dramatic irony. And if we learn the three forms of irony, verbal, situational, and dramatic, we're good to go. Now some kids go, well, is verbal irony sarcasm? It's related to sarcasm. Sarcasm is verbal irony meant to hurt people's feelings. So that is something that we need to kind of know about as we go forward. So now we know that verbal irony is not always sarcasm, but all sarcasm is verbal irony. So those are three types of irony, and when we create irony hands, we're going to create this graphic organizer, and we're going to learn what irony is. Thank you.